was a hard race, but the next guy I can't even see him yet, so from that point of view it's quite easy.
19 miles off the coast of Venezuela and in the heart of the Caribbean is the breathtaking island of Aruba. It's the warm, crystal clear aquamarine water and the soothing trade winds that blow across pure white sand beaches that make Aruba the premier stop on the Pro Board Sailors Association's World Tour. Bonbini, or welcome to Aruba, the site of the 6th annual Hi-Winds Pro-Am Windsurfing Championship. For the next hour, you'll see the world's top professionals race with the wind for prize money, prestige, World Cup points, and a put-on show. Hi everybody and welcome to the Caribbean for the Aruba Hi-Winds Pro-Am.
Well, you seem to have a very good heat, a lot of boat speed, more so than everybody else?
Yeah, it seems like I have more boat speed here in Aruba than everyone else, but let's see what happens.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, the men ready for round number 4. Patrice Belbiak is the current leader overall, but keep in mind, Bjorn Dunkerbeck in 22nd place as he heads out for the start right now. Tom, you pick it up.
F192. Antoine Albo had a great start. You saw him right at the boat, full speed ahead of Robbie Nash. And right there, Ralph Boschuser was having a major problem. He's spinning out. He was in a great position, but the whole fleet was just rolling him by.
And that's a horrible way to get it started from 3rd to last place. But we're going to pick up the action there, flying down that front straightaway. And Phil McGain, the Australian, is our leader, it looks like.
Some of the camera angles are a little deceiving. Phil was out in front, but being farther away from the wind, the guys upwind are going to just go straight over the top. You can see Dunkerbeck coming up now into position to challenge Antoine Albo and Patrice Belbiak for that first spot at the first jibe.
Dunkerbeck, what an amazing story. We told you off the top, in 22nd place coming into round number 4, so he's got some serious sailing to do. And look at this tight little pack.
Bjorn's got a ton of speed. He just went below Antoine. They're all on 5-meter sails, about 52, 53 square foot sails, which is a lot of sail size to hold up in this gusty, anything from 8 to maybe 28, 30 knot winds.
So Bjorn Dunkerbeck has stepped up. He's on the point. He's taken the lead. They are all chasing him right now. In 1988, he took the world title, the world championship, away from Robbie Nash and has not given it back since. Wants to hang on to it for at least another year.
Hanging on's right. You can see Dunky's having a ton of problems. He's bouncing along. It's really windy and gusty here. You've got a full French contingent. Raphael Sals, Patrice Belbiak, and Antoine Albo all fighting for that second spot to go try to chase Dunkerbeck.
And that was a great high-angle shot looking down on Dunkerbeck to give you the idea of the sensation of speed that really takes place right now. There's the 3-pack one more time. Dunkerbeck is still in the lead. Albiak and Albo are still all contending in the 1, 2, 3 slots.
Patrice is really gaining a lot of ground on Antoine Albo. He's really wanting to go after him now. It's so bumpy and gusty, they all have to be very cautious going around these corners.
It's amazing that they can even make the turns and the jibe because there's much bump and wind going on, and you can see that as one of the racers goes down.
Oh, that's Belbiak going down. He's got a big anger right now. A lot of these boats are carrying photographers. They're putting boat wakes in, which is causing the sailors a lot of problem going down at the mark.
And then the domino theory becomes a reality. Once one racer goes down, look at them all start to fall.
This is so incredibly frustrating as a racer. It takes your opportunity away. There, Michael Buzanis, Torkel Christensen, and Raphael Sals from France all had their lines set going into the mark. But as soon as Patrice went down, all those plans were for naught.
And then they all have to climb aboard and get it all underway one more time. Our leader continues to be Bjorn Dunkerbeck.
And Antoine Albo, F192 from France, is hot on his heels. Right now, normally, every time Dunkerbeck is in this position, he wins the heat.
And here is our leader now talking about the condition here in Aruba.
The wind's a little bit stronger in the past days, so that's nice, I think. It makes a little bit more speed in the sport, so you're a few knots faster than you did the other days. It's going to be a very important race because after 4 rounds you have a throwout. A lot of guys have 2 good results and a bad result, for example myself. So this next round is going to be deciding for...
Bonbini, this is Aruba and the Aruba Hi-Winds Pro-Am. Tom, we've seen what I call the speed portion of the program and the slalom racing. Now we're going to take a look at what I call the danger portion of the program, the Around the Island race. It's a marathon race. It's enduring, to say the least, and there's a lot of danger involved also.
Well, this race is nearly 100 kilometers long. It'll take the winner between 2.5 and 3 hours. The rest of the sailors nearly 5 hours. There's no place to get water. There's no place to come in on this northern shore either if you break down. The windward shore is windswept rock, very jagged, quite a dangerous race.
Last year, Nevin Sayer was asked if he thought he could win the race, and he said he would be happy if he could survive it. That gives you an idea how rugged this is, the Around the Island race. Let's take a look back.
Well, Mike, the first thing that the sailors had to do was try to determine what kind of gear they were going to take, whether it was big or small sails or big or small boards. Since it's been cloudy lately, it was a very difficult decision.
Well, it's difficult to make a choice this morning because right now it's not so much windy. It can be stronger later, so the choice for the board, for the sails, and for the fin is quite difficult, you know.
The biggest challenge, getting your body and your equipment ready. But then there's the unknown, and it's hard to prepare for that. They left the beach with only seconds to go until they would get a green flag, signaling the start of the first upwind stretch of their 55-mile journey. A festive crowd waited and prayed for their safe return.
Some of the pre-race favorites are Stein Rasmussen from Norway, Mathias Holmberg from Sweden, Patrice Belbiak and Robert Tertehau of France, Thor Christensen of Denmark, and defending champion Bjorn Dunkerbeck.
The race began without a hitch and was seemingly well, but as the sailors approached the southwest corner of the island, they encountered their first problem.
Well, when it got cloudy, it caused a problem. It was a decrease in the wind, and it left some guys just to bob around and just hope they could make it back to Eagle Beach.
It's Holmberg, who throughout the first hour was not even challenged by the conditions or his competitors. As a matter of fact, by the time he reached Colorado Point, he had knocked 3 minutes off the previous year's time for this stage of the race. Of course, when dealing with Mother Nature, you know that anything can happen at any time. What Matthias didn't know was that Bjorn Dunkerbeck was rapidly closing the gap. Also, closely following behind Robert Tertehau, successfully negotiated Colorado Point, and they were well on their way through the rough waters of the North Coast.
At this point during a race of this length, fatigue is getting to be a factor. Your mind gets more tired than anything else, but after a week-long racing, your arms are tired, your legs are sore, and you're definitely a little dehydrated. Robert Tertehau from France was one of the guys that made it through the lighter wind part of the race and is fighting off that fatigue now. Matthias Holmberg has now dropped back to second place behind Dunkerbeck. From this point on, it was a quest for Dunkerbeck to beat his last year's record of 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 13 seconds.
And Tom, as you mentioned, these guys' bodies are crying out to them right about now. I doubt they had the chance to enjoy some of nature's best along the way, like the Natural Bridge, one of the largest naturally formed spans in the Caribbean, and the rugged yet beautiful coastline. Or the ruins of a gold smelting works at Bushibana, built in 1872. Even the rescue boats had a difficult time maneuvering in the wind-driven swells. Still, Dunkerbeck held on, sore and fatigued, his hands now akin to rigor mortis from gripping the boom for nearly 3 hours' time. One more landmark would let him know that his journey would soon be coming to an end, if of course his body and equipment could hold out. The lighthouse at the California Point, named after the ship California that sank here in rough seas, now is a haven for scuba divers.
Well, after the sailors had a chance to round that point, it was the flattest water section of the whole thing. After overcoming the lulls at the first start of the race, this is where Dunkerbeck could hope to gain back that time lost and take his record. These were the conditions they'd been in all week, so this was his chance.
Exhausted and dehydrated, Bjorn Dunkerbeck crossed the finish line in record time, a time over 9 minutes less than his previous year's performance. This was a true test of his sailor's ability, and Bjorn showed us all why he is the world champion, and he is yet to lose a major speed race in Aruba.
That was a great performance by Bjorn. No matter what kind of condition you're in, which all these guys are in really good shape, a race like this is very fatiguing.
I was going full speed trying to catch Matthias. Once you're in front, you kind of relax a little bit more. But for the first like 2 hours, it was like full speed whole time, trying to catch up and catch up and catch up. And then by halfway down the other side, I realized that I might be able to beat the record, so I was pushing it the whole time and the whole time pushing it. I actually got down in the other leg, and my legs were burning from holding them both stable.
Yeah.
So the first 10 minutes on the beach, so I was kind of tired. And now I'm licking in my body again. And that.
Congratulations. Thanks for talking with us.
Sure.
Coming in second was a happy Matthias Holmberg, who finished with a time of 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 10 seconds. And maintaining his third place spot throughout the entire race was Robert Tertehau. Our congratulations go out to all the racers and the finishers. Dunkerbeck, the winner, with a time of 3:04:30. While his hands may be blistered and calloused, the smile tells the story.